Hi and welcome tonight. I'm going to be doing some Facebook readings using my oracle cards, which I have been showing to a few people, well, not just a few people, been doing Facebook lives to share with people what the oracle cards are that I have created, along with a great artist. Her name is Tertia, and collaboratively we created these deck of cards. And this was a dream that started for me I first thought about doing these about 5 years ago, but I couldn't draw to save my life. So the concept of creating a deck of cards soon went out the window. Hi Annie Joy and Becky, welcome. And going back, as I was saying, when I first thought about doing this, I couldn't draw for anything. So the idea of building or creating a deck of oracle cards, I just left to the wayside. I thought, how am I going to create a deck of cards if I cannot draw what it is that I wanted? So I left that idea or dream to the wayside for about 5 years, and just out of nowhere, the beautiful Tertia, her posts appeared on mine, and I randomly thought about the idea of creating the cards again. So I got together with her. Sorry, you're going to have to excuse, I have a couple of pooches that love to bark even if there's a butterfly. And anyway, we got together, and she had never done anything like this before, and I certainly had never done anything like this before, and we thought it would be this really simple, easy process. And little did we know it was going to be a really awesome adventure, but it certainly took us a lot longer than what we first anticipated. But it was certainly worth the journey, because together, collaboratively, we have created something amazing. Hi Becky, and hello Rachel and Vicky as well. So thank you for joining me tonight. These are the deck of oracle cards that I have created. They're called BEYOU. The reason that they were called BEYOU was that, and as you'll see, a lot of the faces, well, all of the faces are females. The idea behind BEYOU was something that to me came is that, especially for women, we really, and don't get me wrong, I'm not just boxing women in, and I'm not saying only women experience this. Hello Lisa, how are you, love? Thank you for joining for this evening. The reason that I called them BEYOU was that I found that, especially with women, we're really tormented by who we are. We have these ideas and concepts of people or the person that we should be. We have all of these labels that we're expected to be, and they start to cloud our judgment of who we really are. And I think as women, as we get older, we actually learn to start shedding away some of those layers of expectations. And on doing that, it is about discovering who you are as a person. Hello Nandini, how are you, love? So I wanted to design a deck of cards that was something about connecting in with yourself, connecting in with your heart, connecting in with your soul and your intuition. To me, that was the most important. A lot of decks, and I will say this over and over again, I have a massive array of them myself, but I found that all of the decks were about looking externally, and I wanted to design a deck of cards that was connecting in with you. I mean, it's wonderful to be able to connect with our angels and our guides and everything like that. Please believe me, I'm a massive and true believer of that myself. But again, we're still looking externally to something outside of ourselves. Yet if we learn how to connect with who we are as a person and learn to be really comfortable with that, it's amazing the journey that you will go on. And the value of it is so that you can remove some of the layers and learn to be at a place where you just be completely at ease with who you are. So hence the name BEYOU. Hello Karen, Iona and Shane, welcome. Thank you everyone that's joined me this evening. I really appreciate all of your support. So hence tonight I'm going to be doing readings for everyone using these oracle cards, and they will be available for sale on the 19th of October, so that will be next Wednesday. Hello Nicole. And so over the next 6 days, yes, today's Thursday, I will be doing live Facebook readings, and I'll also be doing daily oracle reads as well. So a daily oracle read, if any of you have missed, is to be able to present you with a daily theme or an idea or a concept from a card to help keep you in a conscious reality, almost not so much a conscious reality, what I meant to say was more in a consciousness awareness to an energy that is being presented for every single person, really. And today it was playfulness. So for anyone that may have missed that this morning, this card here was playfulness, and that's about being able to bring that exuberance and that fun and that creative aspect of ourselves when we get to have a sense of play, because life can, at most cases, the first conversation you ask anyone, I really do. I am so sorry about the noise of my dogs. You know, you can sit here on Facebook and you can prepare yourself for everything, and then there's these things that you just are outside of your control. So, but going back to it, the daily theme for today was playfulness, and the concept was that is to get yourself out of your mindset. It's very easy to get stuck into that adult mode of expectations, limitations of what you think that you can do. Yet if you bring in that playfulness, you let go of expectations and boundaries and illusions that you put in front of yourself that's preventing your own growth. So that was today's theme. So if anyone would like a reading, just say yes, and I'm more than happy. And now we'll start off doing some readings for people. So what that will involve is that if you just want to say yes, you'd like a reading, then I'll draw a card and I will give you an explanation of what that card means for you. And then you can think about it and see how that plays out for you, or how relevant that it might be for you. So again, these are the deck of oracle cards that have been created to help people learn to tap into their intuition, learn about how that they can go within and journey in, and also be able to find ways in which to find that it gives you answers and directions and clarity. That's the thing that I enjoy the most, is sometimes when you're thinking about something and you're really stuck on an idea, the cards can give you an option or alternatives that if you choose to continue going down this pathway, this is what your outcome will be. Or if you choose this other option, there's other options available to you. So it therefore allows you to feel that there's some solutions there for you. And then it's up to you whether you choose to take on that advice, because the cards are a tool in which to be able to communicate from your soul. And your soul is, you know, it's your highest version, and that part of yourself wants you to be able to live the life of your dreams. And it will find multiple ways in which to communicate to you. So cards are an awesome way to be able to get that clarity that you're looking for sometimes. So if anyone would like a reading, just please go ahead and say yes, and we'll get the show going. So whenever you use cards, they're a really good way that you must always be mindful that they hold a state of energy. And that energy is more predominantly for yourself. So if you're going to keep your cards for yourself, then you need to be mindful that if anyone else touches them, their energy is going to leave an imprint on your cards. So be mindful that it is something that you would like, when you're playing with them, to learn how to cleanse them, which is something that we'll go through at a later date. So Rachel, you would like one? That's cool. I will get this going for you. And here we go. So the one that's come up for you is gratitude. Now the card meaning for this is that when we're in a state of gratitude, we actually open up our heart to be able to see all of the blessings that we have in this. This card represents that when we come from that space, we allow ourselves to see all of the beauty that's around us. Life can keep you in your own head, and that can rob you of being able to see any joy or anything that's wonderful in your world sometimes, because your focus then just becomes on yourself. Yet when you take the opportunity to be able to sit back and say to yourself, you know, what is it in your life that you're really grateful for? And sometimes the greatest blessings that we have are the smallest little things. It could be that, you know, today you've woken up and you feel healthy and happy. It could be that you have love and support of your family. It could be that today you woke up and you feel amazing about yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror, or you've taken yourself for a walk and the day is beautiful. There's all of these wonderful, great blessings that we sometimes don't always take the time to acknowledge and recognize. And so therefore we are actually really robbing our own self of being able to stay in a current state of being present, and it's very easy to move outside of that. But this card is about take a moment to be able to reflect, see and feel and know what some of the most beautiful things are that you are so incredibly grateful. And there is that expression that when we come from a space of gratitude, we actually open up ourselves to even more love, and we open ourselves up to being able to, when we can recognize our own gratitude, we then get to, other people will sense that energy that you're sending out, and they will therefore then express back to you what they're grateful about you too. So it's an ongoing energy that continues to be internal, that's then expressed externally and then reflected back to you. So I hope that helps, Rachel, and let me know how you go with taking a little time. Now, each person, when they do this state of gratitude, you can either sit there and you can just go through in your own mind and have this little conversation with your head, and not so much with your head, but with your own internal conversation with yourself. If you're a visual person, those kind of people, they like to be able to sit and write and record it, so then they can actually see what they're grateful about. People that are more clairsentient is that they're a feeling, they want to feel that gratitude that they receive. And then there's other aspects, and that's clear knowing, and that's, you just know within yourself what you feel gratitude for. So if you utilize your clear senses, or the sense that you're more predominantly feel more adept with, then you'll find that you'll have a greater connection. And I think, you know, even just spending, you know, half an hour once a week and being able to write down or list what it is that you're incredibly grateful for is a really nice, beautiful place to get into. So I hope that offers some suggestions and some clarity for you, Rachel. So Becky, you said you'd like one? Cool. So we'll start with the next one. I just dropped a card, so you're just going to have to give me 2 seconds to bend down and get it. So let's do one up for Becky. And if anyone else would like a card reading, please just list your name down below, and we'll get through as many as we can this evening for you all. So the one that has come out for you, Becky, is Perception. Now, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's a card that's got, it's not, you don't have double vision. It actually does have 2 sets of eyes. Now, what this card represents is that your perception of the world that you have at the moment will need a little bit of tweaking or altering. We can get ourselves into a state where we can start to feel that everything is maybe not potentially working for us. You may be feeling overwhelmed by things that are happening for you, and when we get into that state of overwhelm, it's really easy to start seeing almost like a black cloud over everything. Now, what a perception of this card of Perception is that if you alter your perception by 5%, and that could simply mean that all of a sudden you just start to see that there's some really good things in your world, or someone's done something for you, you'll start to see that you'll start to gain a new perception about your world. We can all get into a state where we get really stuck, and it can escalate and go down further into states of depression. I don't believe you're there at that place, but what I'm saying is that this card is saying that it would be more advisable for you to gain a clearer perception about what's really going on in your world, and clear away things that don't vibrate with you anymore. Hi Lisa, and hi Jeanette, thank you for joining. When we gain a new perception, we gain a new clarity and a new viewpoint on our world. And that in itself can instantly shift our state of emotions. And when our emotions shift, we automatically feel better in ourselves on a physiological response. So in order to be able to move forward, having that new perception is going to be one of the greatest gifts that you give to yourself. Now, I always have said that humans are like diamonds. We have all of these little, you know, if you have a look at a diamond, it has all these different facets about it, you know, and there are moments that in our life where sometimes those facets just don't align with one another, and they can cause conflict. But at the moment that you shift a little bit, the lines join back up again and there's more of an alignment. So that's how I always see what this perception is. Your world is not the way that you see it, it's just the way that you're perceiving it to be, and so therefore it's been reflected back to you. So I hope that's helped, Becky, and let me know how you go. So Jeanette, you said you would like one. Let's do one up for you. So again, I just want to thank every single person that's come on this evening as a way to support and to find out more about these creation of these. Thank you, Becky. Becky's just written on spot on. Thank you so much. This is really helpful. Thank you, Becky. I really appreciate the feedback. That means a lot. So we're going to pick one out for Jeanette, and the card that you have pulled is the card of courage. So there's almost like a double reflection, because as you see, that's in the background. This is one of my most favorite cards. This card is to represent that this is when you look into this picture, as you can see, it's a pencil picture, but her eyes are this beautiful, radiant, you know, that sort of greeny yellow sort of color, the color of a lion. We as people, there's one part of ourselves that's really courageous, and there's this other part of ourselves that just gets muddled up with so much mind chatter, and it just depends on which mind that we listen to, that focus on. What this card is saying to you is that you have the focus and all of the abilities within you to be able to achieve anything that you want. It would be more advisable to work from this space of this lion, because if you have a look at a lion, they know exactly who they are. They don't try and be a zebra. I know that sounds really dumb, but they don't try to be anything that they're not. They've come to a space where they are 100% comfortable with who they are, and that is the only space that they're going to present. So what this card is implying to you is just be 100% comfortable with everything that you do, but focus on that greatness within you and let go of that, all that mind chatter of, you know, the what ifs, what about this, and this could go wrong, and what about that. And it's very easy to get distracted, yet that internal strength that you have within yourself is trying to get your attention to say, move forward. You have everything within you to be able to achieve all of the dreams that you want, and to just bring that 100% clarity and focus. So I hope that's helped you, Jeanette, and let me know how you go with that one. So as I said, again, this is one of my, I mean, they're all my favorites, but this is one of my favorites. And as you can see, it sits in my office, which is where I do the Facebook Lives every day, as a way to remind me which aspect of myself am I going to focus on, that part of myself that's mind chatter, or the other one that is fully determined and has the courage to keep going and stay true to yourself. So Cheong, she's just written, these card readings apply to me too. Be grateful, see others' perspective. Thanks, ladies. That's really, really kind and so nice of you to write that, love. I really appreciate that. So is there anyone else that would like a reading before we finish up this evening? I'll just quickly go through and show you all again what they look like, and let you know that they are available for sale as of Wednesday the 19th, which is this coming Wednesday. And they will be, I will put a link up on the Facebook Live that I hold that morning, which will be 7 a.m. Yes, for people that know me, I am planning on getting up that early. I'm a night owl. If you want to do a Facebook Live at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm your girl. 7 a.m., yeah, I'm getting up, but everything's not functioning quite at that time yet, but that's work in progress. So there, as I said, we'll be doing a Facebook Live at 7 a.m. in the morning, and in there will be a link in which you'll be able to go on and be able to purchase these cards. So I'll just quickly go through. They're called BEYOU, as a way for you to connect to yourself. Hello, Maria. So lovely of you to join me. Maria, she's in, are you now, you said you're in Europe, so last time I chatted with you the other week, you were in Italy, so I hope you're having a wonderful time with you and your daughter traveling around Europe. So these are all the beautiful cards that collectively, these are all my ideas and creations. I did not do the artwork, I will just let you know that. That is not my specialty or my gift, and they have been designed to help you all tap in and give you direction. Oh, you're in Poland now. Well, I hope that's not too cold, but you have a wicked time while you're there. Rachel's written, love all of this. Thanks, Rach. Got to run. Kitty's got to go to sleep. Well, take care. Thank you for joining us. So again, one last time, if anyone else would like a card reading, I'm happy to do one. Otherwise, I will sign off and see you again in the morning for a daily card read. And if you would like to see what the daily card read theme was, thank you, Becky. She's written, these cards are absolutely beautiful. The cards are you. Oh, you're gorgeous. Thank you so much. Makes me really blush, but I'm really humbled by that. Thank you so much. There's been so much love and so much thought and so much patience that's had to go into these. And there's something that I am so incredibly proud of and so looking forward to sharing them with people to be able to help guide them. The cards were one of my very first tools that I used when I first started 20 odd years ago. So that makes me, really young, when I say it like that. But, over 20 plus years ago, I had my first deck of cards and started exploring myself. I wanted to be able to understand all of this intuitive stuff that was happening for me, being psychic, being clairvoyant, all of these messages and information. I had all these thoughts and feelings and emotions, and I didn't know where they came from or what I was supposed to do with them. So for me, it was the greatest journey was to go on. And I thought, if I have all of these things going on for me, which I'd had for when I was probably about maybe 9 or 10, maybe even a bit younger. I started getting psychic stuff coming through, but I just didn't actually really know what I was supposed to do with it. So I had bought a deck of cards, and to me, they were for me to go on a journey to be able to go on a journey to learn more about myself. The cards offered me confirmation and clarity. They offered me direction, but they also gave what they will also give, and which is the one great thing that I really enjoy them, is that they will give you a new perception on what can be happening for you, and that offer you suggestions along with clarity and direction. And I think as humans we can get really stuck on only being able to see things from one dimension, yet as humans we're multidimensional. So there's always, like that saying goes, there's always more than one way to be able to achieve what you want. But if you've only got your head stuck in one direction, you limit all of the potential beautiful possibilities that are presenting themselves to you. And by having a tool helps you to be able to clear away a lot of that mind chatter and then just become more focused. So these were the purpose for that, because I found with myself, it allowed me to be able to go within and explore myself, and through that I've learned a lot about myself, my skills, what I do, but also get to a place where I feel really, really comfortable with it. And that took a little while, because I didn't have a lot of, back when I first started, there wasn't a lot of spiritual people like there is today, and the people that I did know, it's, if you've watched my first video, some of them were extremely weird, strange people. When I first started out over 20 years ago, and that scared the living crap out of me, because I thought, I am so not like that, and if it means to be spiritual and be like that, that was certainly not what I wanted. So therefore the road of going down my own personal journey was one that was quite a bit lonely for quite some time, and I felt that if I could help someone's journey become a little bit faster and let them know that they are supported, then that was what I wanted to be able to provide. So that's a portion of the motivation for the cards. There's so much more that goes on behind these and their motivation, which I will share with people over the coming week, around their purpose and why they were created and what actually triggered me to be able to do this. So all I can say is, if you have a dream, it doesn't matter how long it takes to come to fruition, never ever give up on it. This took 5 years 15 solid months of solid hard work to get them to this, but the original idea started 5 years ago. So if you believe in something enough and you're passionate about it, the timing is never going to make any difference. And I hear myself say this, and I think that's more of a conversation I'm having with myself, but I'm sure it's relevant to other people out there, that anything is possible. You just don't know when that right time is where everything falls into place. And cards are something that I've had. I mean, if you have a look in my office, I probably have about 20 decks of cards, and that's just the ones that I've culled down just to that many. So they've always been something that I have always utilized throughout the time. It doesn't matter how psychic, doesn't matter how spiritual you are. It doesn't matter if you're at the start of the field or you're right at the very top. Everyone is always wanting some form of clarity and confirmation sometimes, and that's what cards offer to you. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe how much my dog is barking this evening. I am so sorry, everyone. So without a further ado, thank you every single person that has joined me this evening. These cards will be available on Wednesday the 19th. Every morning I will be doing a daily card theme, and in the evening I will do readings for people. And if there's any questions that anyone would like to ask me, please feel free to send me an inbox message. And if you think this is something that someone you know would be interested in, then please feel free to share them with everyone. Becky's written, it's lovely to hear your dog. I think he's barking because he has separation anxiety and doesn't like to be away, so he's probably barking because he's wanting to get in and see what I'm up to, and be in the limelight. But thank you, Becky, I really appreciate that. As I said, you do a Facebook Live or any recordings and you just want everything to be perfect. Do you want me to tell you about my morning yesterday? I get up in the morning and I was really stoked to do my Facebook Live. I got up, had a shower, washed my hair, put some makeup on, all things that I don't usually do, and I'm thinking, yes, this is rocking it, feels great, and then all out of nowhere, a nail flies off. And you just think to yourself, are you kidding me? Out of all things that could go shitty, and something you can't fix yourself, a nail flies off. And then the first part of the Facebook Live cut off in the first 5 minutes, and I think it took me about 2 minutes to collect myself because I was just cracking up laughing, because there are some things that happen in this world that you have no control over, and you can either let it get to you or you can just get on with it. And for anyone that knows, I'm very, very particular. I like my nails to look immaculate, so if I'm missing one, that seriously does my head in. So off to the nail shop tomorrow morning to get that stuff sorted out ASAP. And now tonight, my dog is barking. Sometimes you've just got to be able to have a laugh, hence why the card is playfulness. You know, there's just, it is what it is. But I really appreciate every single person that's come on tonight. Thank you, Ebony. She's just written these cards. Gorgeous, Rachel. Thank you. So again, I just really want to say how grateful I am for your support and for every person that's come on and left amazingly beautiful messages for me. It really does touch me in my heart, and it really does mean a lot to me. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Thanks, guys.